Hello, hello, hello. What is going on with the dolls? Welcome back. I'm back with another reading. This time, girl, this is about to be a little check-in with the post-eclipse dynamics, the post-March astrology dynamics. This is a little springtime check-in for the babies, for my peoples. Also, I have a little tarot spring check-in reading special happening. Check out the description of my bio. Head to my website, millennialsoulfood.com, to find out more. It's a special on readings. If you'd like any more specific advice. For now, though, let's focus on this March 2025 astrology. There was a lot that happened. I'm not going to go over it. We're focusing on the present until the future. And I just kind of want to give you a few tips. So definitely after this intense astrology of March, you're going to want to ground and connect with your body. Eat root vegetables, sweet potatoes, beets, potatoes themselves. Hydrate. When we go through a lot of spiritual transitions, we use a lot of energy, a lot of physical energy, actually, a lot of mental energy, and that actually does take water. Walk barefoot on the earth. This can help balance your electromagnetic frequency. Release lingering energy. Very important. This can be done with the help of a salt bath, a hyssop herb bath. You can buy some of my oils from my website. And journaling can be important to do during these types of rituals of releasing lingering energy. And what you're going to want to do is write about what you're ready to leave that no longer serves you during this time. It might even be some of the most difficult things that you cannot even imagine yourself ever going through life without. But March was a very important transition period. It has been. And you got to make the decisions to cue the universe to let you know that you're ready for the change, that you're ready for the upgrade to your life. Rest and take naps if you can. Meditate. Really, especially if you're an empath, there's a lot of things going on right now that are going to be kind of energetic distractions almost for you. So right now, tune in, tune out actually, and tune in. That is my advice. And also protect your energy. Wear black tourmaline, hematite. Visualize a protective bubble. I actually do this a whole lot. It's just drawing energetic boundaries around me so that I'm not just kind of distracted by different kinds of things. Not necessarily distracted from what's happening in the world, but just distracted from like the minute things that don't really matter. You know what I mean? Them things that just don't really really matter from your day to day. You need to be like when you need to be really focused on your stuff. And it's just stuff that comes up and it's like, girl, I didn't really did not even need to know about this, but whatever. Now's the time to focus. So let me get a little bit of my tea here. Tea in a red solo cup. Girl, this is beer. Okay, so let's shuffle these cards up. And what I'm going to be doing is just getting advice from four cards. Four cards on what it is that we need to do during this post-eclipse energy. All right, so as I shuffle these cards, connect with your highest and most benevolent ancestors, benevolent spirit guides, benevolent angels for your highest good. What are the messages that the people need to hear that are articulated in these 4 cards that I'm about to pull? I'm going to pull the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 11th. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is looking like some very interesting cards here, and I feel like I've gotten a very similar pull before. 10 of Wands. Lay my burdens down. Lay my burdens down. Lay my burdens down. This, especially if you are someone who is an empath, is a very relevant card. So this is the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is that card of activity, but it's that card of a lot of baggage. So the Wands cards represent different kinds of energy that it takes in order to make things manifest, in order to make things happen. And the 10 of Wands in this case, specifically this card, can mean that there are a lot of things that we are carrying on our backs that we need to just kind of delegate to some other party or give up, because it's really giving a lot of baggage. This could be worldly baggage. This could be baggage that you might be unconsciously carrying from thinking that certain things are your fault. That might not be. I know my audience. This is really a card that it really represents kind of definitely baggage. So it's like about prioritizing the things that you focus your energy on. That is going to be very important moving forward in this spring period. So, I mean, we can't focus on everything, but we can choose maybe half of these things that we can focus on that are going to really help us free up energy so that we can actually do even better in these areas that are more important. So this is calling for prioritization. Prioritization is going to be very important. Also, we have the 8 Major Arcana card. This is the Strength card. So with the Strength card, a lot of times what I find is that it takes a bit of conditioning for how you manage any kinds of voices or any kinds of reactions to certain kinds of situations that stem from a traumatized child self, if that makes sense. And so the Strength card a lot of times is about really understanding the ways that you can work with the ways that you might feel powerless in different situations. So I don't really want to say the ways that you can work with your weaknesses or anything like that, because that's kind of disempowering language. But this card really is about understanding how to tame those I don't even want to say voices, but those kind of thoughts that come that are based in trauma, you know? This person is gently closing the mouth of the lion. So this is like, let's say you have an example of where you're trying to do something and then you're just like, you just have a thought of like, oh my God, you can never do this. What are you even thinking about? Like, this is totally impossible. You can never do anything like this. That is representative of this lion. And this sort of feminine angel card here is taming the lion. So this is really about understanding your reactions. Let's say you are embarking on a journey that might require a certain level of self-growth. You will have thoughts that come up that doubt your ability to actually go through with what you're thinking about, but it's important to put that into a certain kind of context. Book a reading if you need some more help with this. But yeah, strength card definitely is important for taming those inner voices. Okay, so next we have, oof, Jesus, the Eight of Swords. So we are definitely moving into the Neptune in Aries energy. And this is a very, very interesting part of our reality. And it feels very relevant to this card. Like, your reality is what you make it. Like, if you want to feel like you have no options and like you're totally closed in, then that is going to be your reality. Not like I'm trying to sound like overly privileged, because I do recognize that there are certain obstacles that people have, you know, that are systematic. But this is really about your mental focus. This is about the kinds of mental prisons that you have created for yourself. What kinds of mental prisons have you created for yourself? We all have created mental prisons in order to survive, in order to make it through. But what are some mental prisons that we can actually, you know, free ourselves from? What are some things that are going on? What are some patterns that you can release yourself from? What are some ways that you can just take one of these swords and cut these blindfolds off? Hey, shut it up, OC. And walk to the mountain. Very important card. Very, very, very important. And especially as we move into these new waves of whatever is going on with the presidency, with the government, a lot of this is about really honing in your own mental focus. There's so much chaos going on. You cannot focus on everything that's going on. You know what I mean? It's kind of the like gist of this whole reading. Choose the things that you're going to focus on and go forth. You know what I mean? Do not focus in on the distractions. Can I get an amen? Shit. Okay, so Knight of Cups. I feel like I've gotten this card before. I've been doing a lot of readings lately, but Knight of Cups is about that imagination. It's about not getting stuck. It's about understanding your emotions, your creative hunches, and really figuring out what your next move is. What's your way out of carrying too much baggage? Of listening to those internalized voices that are not yours? Of creating your own spiritual prisons based on trauma? Now's the time to exercise creativity for a realistic vision. All right. Well, this is your advice. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do have a spring check-in reading special that is happening right now. Pay it to the description in order to book. Otherwise, I am sending you so much love, wishing you so much peace and many blessings. Ciao.